Welcome to episode 4 of the Pluribus podcast, affectionately known as Pluribus, but for convenience sake, we're pronouncing it with the I. Anyways, this is Pluribus, the one and only podcast, your go-to spot for all things related to the series. I'm your host, Ellie, joined by my other host, Makram Mark.
Hello, Carol.
Together, we'll share our love, theories, and deep dives into the show, along with reviews of each episode as they release on Apple TV+. Whether you're listening on Spotify or watching on the Pluribus, the one and only podcast YouTube channel, thank you for tuning in. And hey, I'm here to be happy.
And I'm here to be happy.
You see? Consensus. We're all here to be happy. And I know you're here to be happy too.
In this episode, we're going to discuss theories sent by you guys from the r/pluribustv subreddit, Pluribus Discord, and we'll conclude with one of your listener theories sent through the submission forum. So this is theory number 1, sent in by Reddit user Danny Bars Raps. And the theory reads, there's going to be some sort of drug or entity that creates the ability for people to not feel depressed, and she'll be the only one who opted out or doesn't work for or one of very few people. And it'll be a very strange relationship between her and the main character of a hive mind. Plus, the weird code name they used for the show, SWLA853 for X. That's not exactly it. Okay, I figured. But they're random numbers and letters that make me think it's the code name for the drug or entity involved. That also led me to believe that maybe the government did it with somewhat positive intentions or a failed attempt at a mass MK Ultra style psyop, but it didn't work out the way they thought it would, like fluoride and water, except it's not benign like fluoride. Sounds like it could be a drug that people take to lose the ability to be depressed or a chemical released into the air, but it doesn't affect her. And I think it will possess others that she'll meet along the way. Regarding Donut Licking Lady, maybe it's the way the hive mind screwed with her, using everyone at its disposal. Even the meaning of the word pluribus implies a hive mind type vibe with it, coming from Latin, something we talked about in an episode before. Anyway, linking it to the word plurality, or more than one, aka a possible hive mind. Though I think the show's story arc will show her finding others in a situation basically against the rest of the world. And I know they shot on location in Spain, so maybe she travels to see if it's a worldwide epidemic. Okay. Well, thanks for sharing your theory on the subreddit, Danny. After thinking about it for some time, because I read it a few times, and I believe this is something we have already heard over a dozen times before, to be honest. Now, that does not mean I think it's bad. There's no such thing as a bad theory, as we try to emphasize here on our show and our community. There's no such thing as a theory that's quote unquote plausible or implausible. That being said, to be honest, I don't know about it. I don't know. These are things we already learned. But the reason why I want to bring up this theory is because the identity of the Donut Lady is something that has been speculated on without any clear answer. We cannot tell if she's the one being affected by the virus or if she's the one spreading it. Now, I lean more towards the latter. I think she is the victimizer in that scenario. What do you think about it, Ellie?
The main thing that I was thinking of was you'd mentioned drugs.
Yeah, he did mention drugs.
I don't know whether you think the drug is something that's going to be enforced or whether it's some kind of opt-in situation we can fix your problems, kind of like the weight loss drugs that you can get right now. I don't know whether it's something like that where it's this will just be a one-stop fix-it option. But I personally don't really believe that it's going to be a drug unless it's forced on people, because just think in the current times how many people would just push against that idea. I mean, we literally see it day to day with people.
Tylenol.
Yeah, with people straight up rejecting medicine in the hundreds of thousands. And that's something that's always been true. And so I don't think it would be, I mean, we're talking, they literally said, like, she's the only person. Now, I personally don't think she's the only person who is, quote unquote, miserable. I think that there's probably a small statistic of people who are the same as her, but for all intents and purposes, she's alone. And that would mean that, like, millions and billions of people have been affected by whatever this is. And I think it's most likely that something like that would be caused by a virus rather than a drug.
I've been thinking about it, and the logline states follows the most miserable person on earth and the one who must save the world from happiness. We know this. But what's interesting is it doesn't say follows the only miserable person on earth. So as you've mentioned, there are other people who might be immune, like that. Clearly that donut lady looks miserable to the virus. So Carol might be the most miserable person on the planet Earth, but that does not mean there aren't maybe a handful of other people who are miserable to an extent, not to the extent she is, but to an extent, and they'll still be distinguished from this happiness hive mind. So it is very interesting. We discussed this ad nauseum in the teasers episode, but when we talk about the effectiveness of beginning this marketing campaign with the donut lady, and you'd think it begin with Carol because she's the most miserable person on earth, but it begins with another seemingly miserable character. I mean, I don't think the donut lady looks happy. Now, maybe she's, devil's advocate. She is feeling happy, but she's not expressing this happiness. I mean, a happiness is a feeling. It's not a facial expression. It's not only a facial expression, to be precise. So I think that the identity of the donut lady is going to be addressed in a few weeks' time, hopefully.
I weirdly don't think that she's gonna be an important character. I think she's just like a vessel for whatever they were trying to tell in that one teaser. I don't think we're gonna see her again, really, apart from that one scene.
But you'd think that the first teaser would give us an insight of this, happy virus. It would begin with a happy person licking those donuts. She didn't seem to do it like with enthusiasm.
She just seemed like almost not depressed, but like.
But we know that's not Carol. She's supposed to be the most miserable person on the planet Earth. That's what I find interesting about this donut lady.
But then if if this donut lady was happy, and she was trying to spread a virus, then wouldn't she be happily doing it because she literally has the virus? Or maybe she's just a carrier,
I'm leaning more towards the interpretation that she's the exception to the rule as much as Carol. Yeah. We'd also talked about it being a potential catalyst.
Yes, we did.
Incident as well. So that's always possible. Anything is possible with the show, to be honest. I'm glad you brought up the donut lady, Danny. Should we move on to the next theory?
Yeah. So the next one is by Nick Whitted on YouTube. And they said, my current theory of the show is that a semi-benevolent alien hive mind-esque creature has taken over the entirety of planet Earth, except for one seemingly immune woman. Now there's this tense roommate situation between Carol and the Pluribus.
Okay. This is something you've mentioned, Ellie, and
yeah.
This theory reminds me of what you said on another episode. But Ray Seahorn did kind of discredit this idea of extraterrestrial beings.
Yes.
Now, I think one might ask as a follow-up, extraterrestrial in what sense? Because alien is a broad term. Again, when someone says something is or isn't, it's straightforward, isn't. Yeah. But I do want to leave room for the interpretation that Ray Seahorn wasn't thinking about aliens that aren't sentient, that aren't like those Hollywood greeny creatures. Plants can be aliens, believe it or not, or just those teeny weeny slugs. I think she's also discredited the idea of things like slugs or anything moving, but it could be something that's, outside of this world.
Yeah.
Or maybe another dimension, or maybe it doesn't even have to be from outer space. So yeah, you mentioned this before, and I was...
Yes. I was just going to say, even though Ray debunked it, I think that doesn't necessarily rule out man-made Machiavellian creatures or some kind of AI sentiency, there's still potential in your theory. It's just I don't think it would be like an alien hive mind type thing.
And if you want to do AI, I think it would be much easier if we just stuck with AI. It doesn't have to be alien, it doesn't have to be this alien. It could be just man-made on the planet. I think I'm going to take Ray Seahorn at her word. She means alien as in covering every single base as to what alien can possibly mean. All right, on to the third theory. This theory is in the form of a comment by username Potential Spam on the Pluribus TV subreddit.
Mm-hmm.
So their comment reads, Plot A will be how she, being Carol, deals with the crazy people around her. The virus has changed. Plot B will be about the people behind it trying to contain / put it back in the bottle. Okay. Plot C will be how this all happens between the time her and Jimmy, I assume they mean Jimmy McGill from Better Call Saul, broke up. She lost her memory of him because of the virus, and how she got it back and got back together with him. Oh man.
What the heck?
Okay, plot A and B, I think there's more to work with here, but plot C, come on. Potential spam. Are you being maybe potentially trolling?
Listen, them McWexler fans are crazy. Let me tell you. They're crazy about McWexler.
This is the kind of trolling I like, so.
let them vibe. Let them vibe. They're valid.
Yeah, so what do you think about it?
I think it's really funny. I think 1 and 2 are definitely, they were just joking around with number 3. But I actually really like the idea of erasing the long-term memory, because this reminds me of a lot of my favorite movies that fuck around with memory.
And shows, Severance.
And shows.
Also made
and shows.
Streaming on Apple TV+.
Yeah, I think the crossover with Severance might be a bit much. I think that they probably wouldn't do that again, but I would
like to see Adam Scott and Pluribus. Sorry. Yeah.
I love the idea of memory erasure. That is something that I personally would love to do.
I'm a sucker for these kind of tropes as well.
I am a big fan of it. Like Eternal Sunshine is one of my favorite movies of all time. Just because the way that it represents it, where the memories are being erased like as it's happening, and it's kind of like this dreamlike horror like state where the faces are being erased and like everything's falling away from itself. I love that kind of stuff. If Pluribus did something crazy like that, I would be so happy. I don't know if that's why people are happy, but
as much as I think these stories tend to, a majority of them lean toward people losing their long-term memory, like from childhood, like big events. I'm more interested in the same thing you're interested in, which is just people losing their short-term memory in the moment. Like the present, everything is ever so moving and changing. And then you don't know how to adapt, because like, who are you in that moment? Some potential spam. Your Better Call Saul joke aside, I agree with Hammy said. I do believe there's merit in the idea that the virus can alter people's consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
Now, more specifically, and I'm sure you meant that as well, Ellie, but their memory of their sad moments.
Yeah.
Right? I think if that theory were to be true, their memory of all their traumas, I understand why they want to forget it, because they're sad moments with a capital S.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is how the virus would be written to function.
Yeah.
It erasing people's memories. So yeah, let's move on to the next theory by Mike Ray's at Cinema.
Yeah. So Mike said, not only are we going to potentially see a plague, but this looks like a pathogen that can inspire a sort of reverse 28 days later scenario. Instead of carriers puking up blood and trying to kill their neighbors, Pluribus seems to suggest that they won't be able to stop smiling at them, or anyone else, ever. Yep, this is definitely something that would come from the alum of the X-Files writer's room.
I wonder who they're referring to. Vince.
I don't know, this concept, like, I think that's more frightening to me. I don't know if it's because I'm just British and I'm not used to people smiling, but I find the relentless smiling and happiness way creepier than like a grouchy disposition. I don't like that. It's creepy. It's like the movie Smile or whatever. Very creepy.
Yeah, I watched the first movie of Smile. I haven't seen the sequel. I digress, though. Smile is a perfect example of what I understand what that Cinema Blend article is referring to be honest. Yeah. And, 28 days later for the inverse. But as I've mentioned with the donut lady theory, I don't think happiness is always going to be manifested through a smile. I think it's going to be, your face could just look nonchalant, but you're so elated on the inside. Want to jump up and down.
Yeah.
So I think it would be a bit too cliche if it was just constant smiling.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're just going to look at the body language and the way dialogue is delivered, the way their actions, their scenarios, and consequences informed by these happy hate decisions people make.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be like 24/7 smiles being plastered on one face. And also, Smile is a horror film. I don't know if Pluribus is going to go ham on the horror.
I think it's just going to be a lot of different genres, Yeah,
it's going to be a blend of genres.
Yeah.
It's going to be...
I think it's going to be everything. I genuinely think that it's going to be the most humanistic representation of emotions and just have literally everything. Like horror, thriller, comedy, sci-fi, drama. It's just going to have all the flavors of what it is to be human. I genuinely think that that's what they're going for with Pluribus. Fantasy, magical realism, everything.
Meta, possibly, because she's writing a novel.
Yeah.
She's the writer within a written show.
Romance with the Yuri. Oh, it's going to be so good.
Oh.
Someone said in another Discord, they called it Pluribus. And I'm now taking that. I love that. It's great.
Yeah. All right. So, funnily enough, as we were preparing to do this episode, we were looking for one more theory that we both want to talk about.
Yeah.
So, this theory is from Abby Bales. It was a comment made on a post on our r/pluribustv subreddit a month ago, and the comment reads: "Given the sword/water/anchor stuff." Plus the Sandy Pony Donuts box they showed in the first teaser, enclosed in brackets. It's a local chain around Annapolis Eastern Shore. I'm wondering if she has some connection to the Navy. Also in brackets, U.S. Naval Academy is in Annapolis. Carol being in the Navy. That would add a very riveting layer to her character. And if you want to write a backstory as to why someone is, miserable, just write them serving in the army and then evoking PTSD, part of that package of negative emotions. I do think, however, it would be best if the show was centered on her being a historical romance author and avoided imposing too many elements that might make her seem convoluted. I think this show has a lot to do with her just being a historical romance author. I mean, this is a really big sandbox, and I think at least for this season, maybe she has there things we don't know about her yet, and we're not gonna know until the renewed second season. But I think there are too many interests if they were to do it all in the first season. Now, that being said, it is true that human beings like Carol Sturka have a wide range of interests, which is why I believe it won't be in this season, and they can shift between them from time to time. So this theory caught my eye because I'm like, what else could she be? And I don't even think, to be honest, Ray Seahorn knows everything that might be in the future seasons.
Oh no, she didn't with Kim either. That was something that was built over time, and things just develop, don't they? Like, and especially in that writer's room where it's a very gradual process.
So maybe she does know then, but we don't know. Like,
I think she probably doesn't know where
they're taking elements from her life. Yeah.
I think it's more likely, actually, that the relation to ships and things like that is to do with pirates, just because we've been given so much, like Cutlass, and there is talks about a set that she said that she wrote her name under, which I'm pretty sure, because she said it was a super important set. I'm pretty sure that that's a ship. And then you've got the whole Waikaro thing again with the Cutlass, and there's been a couple things that have been tied to pirates. So I actually think it's more likely that it's a relation to pirates rather than like just the US naval scene.
Yeah, to the best of mine, I don't know if Ray Seahorn has anything to do with the Naval Academy anyway. I'm just thinking about how, when Vince was talking about this Pluribus project before it was announced as Pluribus or even Wakaro, I believe he wanted to work with Ray on this for a long time. Even, he mentioned it was a passing comment on during the Better Call Saul season 6 premiere. I don't remember the episode for that, but he was ready. Like Ray Seahorn. Let's just say she was not going to be done with Vince after Better Call Saul. That's what we knew, and I can't help but think that meant they were writing the character of Carol with Ray Seahorn in mind. So her experiences, and maybe she does come. Maybe her family served in the Navy, or
I mean that is something
that she doesn't know.
That is something that she does have experience with. Her family moved around because of the Navy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I did not know that. So I think, what? I can see where Abby Bales is coming from. I want to see her in a Navy outfit. I mean,
I don't think she'll be in the Navy, but maybe there is some kind of relation there. I don't know what it is exactly, though.
Yeah, I think that to be honest, that's season 2 talk, maybe or if they do a season 3, or there's a lot going on for her.
For a long time, we thought that the show was going to be based around art. Now it is because it's about books, but we actually thought it was going to be like visual arts.
Like
that she's an artiste.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not the case, but I am glad that she is a creative person, even if she hates it, apparently.
Okay, so our happy and sad moments. What we do every episode is we like to talk about our happy and sad moments. Bottom line is we like to just kind of take off our Pluribus goggles for a bit and just talk about how we're feeling. I'll start. My happy moment is more of a happy thought. My favorite holiday, I'm sure that it rings true for a lot of people who celebrate, is Christmas. And that's just in a couple of months.
It's very soon.
I'll be
scarily soon.
Spending time with family, it's just, and just I can listen to Christmas music, but not Mariah Carey. Oh my God. Don't. Okay.
she's defrosting.
Her ice has melted. She's defrosting. But maybe it's not a real sad moment. Just want to share some bonus positivity, but I'll find a way to make it sad because I am in the 4th season of FX The Americans, and I'm at the midpoint of the entire show, so I'm still 2 seasons away.
Yeah,
there are like 13 episodes season.
I remember when you picked that up. That wasn't even that long ago.
Yeah,
I've been steaming through that.
It feels like yesterday since I started the 1st season, which makes it a sad moment.
Yeah,
it's going to feel like I'm going to finish watching this amazing show for the first time tomorrow. I don't know. It feels like I'm not going to literally finish it tomorrow, but figuratively, I feel like
you know what you gotta do?
Time is moving too fast.
You know what you gotta do? You gotta rewatch it.
For the first time and be enamored.
You gotta rewatch it again. You gotta go back and rewatch it. Start from season 1. That's what I do.
Yeah. Do you have a happy and sad moment?
It's all linked. It's all interlinked. It's very, very shallow, but I found and purchased a very rare VHS that I've been wanting. It's one of Lorraine Bracco's rarest movies called called Cap Danger. No one has seen it pretty much, unless they watched it back in the day in the 90s. We're talking, it only exists on VHS. And it came from Australia, which means it's PAL, which means I can play it. But the thing is I have no way of playing the VHS because I do not have a VHS player. I used to have one, but I don't anymore. So I need to buy a VHS player so I can play it. But
the horror, the rare, you have to
the horrors,
VHS in the world.
The horrors.
You need to play it.
Yeah,
I'm sure people would love to be in your position, uncovering something.
It's great. It's like finding a diamond in the rough. It's great.
No, I'm happy. I'm happy for you.
So before you head out, please like, subscribe, and rate this podcast out of 5. If you have any more theories before the show premieres, please let us know in our submission form, which you can find in the description below. You can also find it on Discord or the Pluribus TV subreddit, and we'll cover that on our show. And don't forget to follow us on Blue Sky and Twitter. Next time, we will be covering the trailer and any teasers and text that we have yet to cover. And until next time.